Lovely. Hey everyone! We're back like every week on every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm chilling here with y'all. On Instagram I look a lot tanner than I do on Facebook, but we'll just let that slide. Okay, we'll let some people hop on here, but this week's a big week. Like, it's a big week. A lot of girls, especially in the travel ball sector, are playing out in Colorado. There are literally hundreds of softball tournaments going on in Colorado right now. There are literally some of the people that follow my training that are playing right now. And the thing about this Colorado tournament, if you don't know, this is one of the largest tournaments in the United States for travel softball players. And because it's one of the largest and there's a lot of softball going on there, that's where a lot of coaches are off on the recruiting trail. Like, every coach that I know, especially within the Big Ten, they're all out there watching softball because that's where the compilation of softball is this week. Like, you don't see many local tournaments for very high-end travel ball teams. So this is a tournament that I played in, I think, 5 years. The tournament in Colorado, I think we played in like the Sparkler in Boulder, Colorado. But this is a huge week for softball. So a lot of the girls, I think there's actually probably people on here right now that are out there playing. And this is an exciting week because this is a week where a lot of girls are getting recruited by their dream schools. And that's pretty exciting because this is actually a tournament. I think I met the Purdue coaches there, not met them, but they were there watching me play, I think 3 times. So this is a huge tournament, and if you want to play at the collegiate level, this is a tournament you have to play in. Because if there's a coach that's slightly interested in you and you're going to be in a location that they're already at, aka Colorado, they're more likely going to see you. So this is a big week for them, and this is why I wanted this week's topic to be all about what's going to make you can't catch my words. What's going to make you stand out. So, like, you don't just want to be good, right? Like, you can be really good at softball, but if you have a bad attitude or you're not a good teammate, like, you're most likely not going to be recruited. So I actually made a list of 5 things that you should really have, like, in your toolbox. Like, you should have these 5 things in order for you to be the most marketable to go play college softball, and especially, like, where you want to play. So I know some people on here might not even want to play college softball, but I'm telling you right now, to be a good person, to be a good human, to contribute to this world the best that you can, these 5 things can apply to any aspect in life. Like, whether you're working, whether you're, a teacher somewhere, whether you're just a student. Like, there are things that are going to make you excel faster than others, and these are the 5 things. So I cannot wait to get started. By the way, if you're in Colorado right now, like, shoot me some hearts, shoot me something, because I know there's some people that are out there traveling and probably playing in games right now. But it's so exciting to see because there's so much good softball going on in Colorado. That's not the only tournament that college coaches go to, but like I said, there are thousands of athletes in Colorado right now. My family, we used to take a road trip every single year. So I played there for 5 years. I think every single year, my family, we took our minivan and we hauled over there, and I have 2 younger sisters and they came with us. So we kind of made it like a little family vacation, and then in between we're playing softball games. So it was actually one of the coolest trips ever. I do remember this week, my travel ball girls, especially for the Fort Wayne Fire, yes, I played on the local team for the majority of my life until I was a sophomore in high school. But when we went out to Colorado, we got 9 families from our team to buy, and I say I was not a part of buying this, but we rented a house, a cabin in the woods, on top of a mountain, in Colorado, so high up that it was 20 degrees difference on the top of the mountain to down to where we were playing. It was I think an average of 90 degrees down below where the actual tournament was. And then when we went up to the house, it was at least 70 and perfect. And then you go even higher, and then it's 45 degrees. There's sometimes snow at the top of the peak. So we made that whole trip not just about softball. It was about going and seeing some of the coolest the mountaintops that we don't see in Indiana, we got to go see over there. And so that was one of the most fun travel ball trips. And I'm sure if you play college softball, if you play travel ball, or even just locally, but you drive an hour or 2 to go see a different part of a state, or go to Ohio, go to Michigan, there's so much beauty and probably the surrounding area of your tournament. So I recommend always go see what's around. Don't just go to play and come back. What's fun in that? Go to this exotic, I don't know, theme park. If you're in Ohio, go to Cedar Point. Like, go do things that like you can't do where you live, and you're gonna make the travel ball tournaments like so much more fun. So yeah, like when we got that house, we had like I said, 9 families that rented this cabin, and there was literally a room with bunk beds like that went like 4 tiers up. I think there were like 8 bunk beds like in this one room. It was like seriously like the coolest slumber party ever. But yeah, like we made the most of our tournaments together, and that's probably why we played so well together, even though we were from Fort Wayne, Indiana. So yeah, Colorado, it's a big week. So with that, I'm gonna start off with a quote, because I always want to give you a little bit of motivation going into your week. And that's just because, that's what some people need on Mondays, all right? That's why I love doing this on Mondays, because like sometimes 3 p.m. is like where we start getting tired. Like, I don't know if you work, but like normally 3 p.m. is when in Europe, when I was there, that's when they're having their afternoon coffee and cake to take a break from the real world. I want this to be a little motivational session for you. So here's the deal. This also comes from my gym. I know I bring this out every single week, almost every single week, but there's just so many good quotes in it, okay? And like, if this is a motivation to go buy something that's gonna motivate you, which it motivated me when I was playing, go get it, Mind Gym. This is on page 92, and this is the quote. Motivation gets you going, discipline keeps you going, okay? Anybody can be motivated. Like, you can be motivated by this talk right now, and you can be super excited about something, but if you don't like go straight into that thing you're excited about and start making a difference, the motivation does nothing. So that's perfect. This quote says, motivation gets you going, gets you hyped, gets you excited. Discipline keeps you going. So these 5 disciplines that I'm about to give you about recruiting and how you can set yourself apart from everybody else, this is the stuff that you gotta take notes. If you have a notebook or you have something nearby, like a pen and paper, I would get it out right now, because these are the things that are gonna get you to be recruited if you wanna be recruited, or to, even if you're not a starter on your team, but you have these 5 attributes, you will become a starter, okay? So this is the stuff that I got for you, and I want you to get out your notebook right now. If you don't have it, I'm gonna give you 10 seconds, and then we're gonna get flying into it, because I'm excited, and I tend to I don't want this to be another 40-minute video. Like, I want this to be maybe 15, 20 minutes. Like, let's get out and start doing these things, because you can get started today. Okay. So the things that are going to get you recruited, especially you people that are out in Colorado getting recruited by college coaches right now, this is for you. Are you ready? So number 1, easy peasy, be a good teammate, okay? Nobody wants a bad teammate on their team, all right? So if you're that teammate that doesn't do well in one at bat, and then you turn around, you roll your eyes at the next person, then you go sit on the bench like you're sad, you are an energy vampire. Energy Vampire, it's from a book from John Gordon, I can't remember his name, Energy Bus. If you are an energy vampire, you are literally stealing energy from other people. So when you pout or you sit on the bench and you mope and you feel bad for yourself, now all of a sudden that might give another teammate of yours permission to do that. Or they're trying to stay energized and you're literally like pulling away their energy, and you think you're gonna win a game if your entire team is like, energy's gone? No, there's no way that's gonna happen. So whether you do good, whether you do bad, like, sure, get hyped when you do something great, but when you do something bad, don't just put all that energy on you. Don't be selfish, okay? So be a good teammate. That's number 1. Be a good teammate, and that's in all aspects of the game, okay? If you ever see yourself rolling your eyes or pouting when you make a mistake, like, own it, because everybody makes mistakes, and then move on, okay? Does that sound good? Okay, so be a good teammate is number 1. That's pretty easy. Number 2, play the game with respect. Okay, this game, if you play it with the ultimate respect, if you play it the way it's supposed to be played, which means you don't cheat, you don't purposely cheat, or you don't like, I don't know, go intentionally hurt somebody on the field. Like, that is not playing the game to the respect that it deserves. This game, this beautiful game, which I believe is like the best game on the entire planet, this game deserves to have the respect it is an honor to walk on that field, and I want you to play it with the respect that it was brought up to have. So if you're going to play this game, you're going to treat it with respect. And not only does the game come with respect, but so does the other team, the opponents that you play. Play with respect for the other team. Like, if you get struck out by, I'll tell you right now, struck out by Monica Abbott, okay, the best pitcher in the world, struck out to her because she threw me a rise ball into my hands that I couldn't even touch in that at-bat. You know what I did? Instead of rolling my eyes and feel bad about myself, I walked off and I looked at Monica and I was just like, that was a great pitch. Like, that was a great pitch. And I told her that night, because a lot of times in the NPF, we all got to like hang out with the other team after the games. Like, yeah, even though we're opponents, we're still friends. But I told Monica that I was like, dude, that rise ball you threw at me and at my hands, that was incredible. Like, that's me showing respect to that pitcher because she is clearly the number one pitcher in the world for a reason. So me striking out is not the worst thing to ever happen in the world. So not only do you treat the game with respect, you treat the other team with respect, and especially you treat your teammates with respect. Okay? Especially maybe that one teammate who plays your position that is trying to fight for your position. You don't treat them badly because they want your position. You treat them with the ultimate respect because you elevate your game, she's going to elevate hers. And when she elevates yours above yours, you're growing too. So treat the game with respect. Treat the people you play with respect. Hey, you know what? You know who also comes with the game is the umpire. Okay? The umpire is always going to be back there. The umpire is part of the game, all right? Even though the MLB, they're putting up the strike zones and they're like, oh, we should just eliminate umpires. That's not going to happen, people. So especially if you're a catcher, Jen Schro always talks about this with catchers, you shake that umpire's hand. You show him the respect that he deserves because you know what? That umpire is not always going to be right, and he knows that, okay? He or she knows that they're not always going to be right, but you can't just assume that they are, okay? You're asking them to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, okay? So if they call a bad pitch on you, they call a strike that's up here at your chin, okay, you brush it off. You don't look at that umpire and roll your eyes and say, what was that, okay? Everybody makes mistakes. Literally everyone makes mistakes. So you treat that umpire with respect too, okay? So that was number 2. Number 1 was be a good teammate. Number 2 was play the game with respect. And the game comes with everybody. The umpires, the other team, your teammates, your coaches, they deserve the ultimate respect because they're the ones teaching you the game the best that they can. And I have had coaches that did not know as much as I did about a certain part of the game, but with the respect that I have, if I disagree, I will challenge that, but I don't do it rudely, okay? You don't do it rudely. Like for example, if you're trying to bunt and you know how your barrel should probably be angled up rather than angled down because the ball's gonna fly away. Like, yeah, if your coach says, oh, angle your barrel down, that's not right, but you don't say, oh no, that's not right, coach, that's not right. You challenge it with the, like, go do your homework on what you know it is, approach it to your coach and be like, I think this is how it's done. That's also respect. So I could go on, man, I might do a whole live about respect because I think this game needs it a little bit more than most. So respect the game, everything about it, players, coaches, teammates, everything. Okay, number 3. This should be an obvious one, but it's not always the obvious one. Number 3, way to get recruited, way to set yourself apart is to be the one that's always hustling, okay? Be the one that is always hustling to your position. I don't care if you play first base and your dugout's right next to first base. You're hustling there. Just because you don't have to be entitled to go walk to that position. And that's what sometimes bugs me. And I know, like, MLB does it. The pitchers, they walk off the mound. If they have a strikeout, they walk, whatever. But you have, like, a whole 3 outs to chill and relax. Like, show the game some respect, I guess, by hustling to your position, okay? That position's not yours. You have to understand this. Like, whenever you grow in the game, and, like, let's say I went from high school to college, and I was an outfielder. Okay, I played travel ball in the outfield. That's all I played. If you guys know me, I didn't play the outfield in college. I played second base for 2 years, my freshman and sophomore year, and first base for 2 years. And that's because those were the positions that needed to be filled. We didn't need an outfielder at that point. Going Yard podcast. Hey guys, we didn't need an outfielder. So I actually came in as a second baseman. But you better believe that position was not mine to just say, oh no, that's mine, I don't have to work hard. That's not the way you look at this game. You have to hustle to and from your position no matter what, because that spot could be taken at any point in time. At any point in time, that spot can be taken. Emil, amen. I have so many teammates that when they get a correction from my coach, they give them attitude, and it's always sounded like they're giving them attitude. Yeah. So, like, nobody wants an attitude, energy vampire on their team. That was the part of the respect comment from the last one. But, yeah, so you're hustling. You're always hustling because that position, like I said, can be taken at any point in time. There's somebody that's always going to want to be in your position. And that's something that I truly learned to the highest extent when I was at Purdue. Because we constantly had recruits coming on campus to see, you know, like, how's Purdue? Like, what's it like? And you know what? Looking at these recruits that were coming in, they wanted to be in this jersey, in this Purdue, not this one, but in the Purdue University jersey and be on that team. They're the ones that are going to try to come in and take my spot. But that's how you want it. That's how programs grow. They fill the spots with better talent. So you just have to know that when people are coming in, they're not coming in like they're trying to take your spot, but you gotta show this game respect and hustle every time that you go to that position, because you're not gonna be the one in that position if you take it easy and you say, no, this is mine. Because smart coaches are going to be like, no, we're taking her out. She's not hustling to her position. She's not hustling, in workouts. Like, I'll tell you what, like, there are people that are very lazy in workouts, and when you get older, when you play at the college level, like, workouts are really intense, guys. Like, they are really intense. And, like, it's so easy to just, like, take the easy route and just start walking or slow yourself down. But you will not see your potential if you always are taking it easy. And I know we've talked about this before, and it's a topic that's like always talked about, but you should always be hustling, okay? No matter what. Like, when you're going after something at the highest level that you possibly can, like, you will be so surprised how far you can get. But if you're just going through the motions forever, you're never going to see your potential. So hustle. That's number 3 on the ways to stand out to get recruited. Okay. Actually, I kind of touched on this with number 2, but number 4 is your interaction with your coaches. Okay, so when a college coach, let's say for example, that's watching these Colorado teams play this weekend, these coaches are looking for not just the best player. Like, I haven't even talked about skill level yet. Can you believe that? Like, I haven't even talked about skill level. But these coaches that are at this tournament looking to find who's going to be on their team, in the upcoming years, which is, it's exciting, it's exhilarating to think about. But when they are looking for them, they assume that they're going to be in that coaching role for you. So if you are bad-mouthing your coach on the field or in the dugout, guess who's staring at you? The coach that you wanted to have coaching you one day. And do you think any coach wants to be disrespected? Like, raise your hand if you want to be disrespected. I didn't think that anybody wanted to. So those coaches that are out in Colorado recruiting in Colorado, looking for, the next talent for their team, they are looking to see how you interact with their coaches, because if they're going to be your coach, they're darn well going to be respected. But like I said, like, you're not going to agree with everything that your coach says. There were plenty of coaches, there were things that my college coaches said that I didn't completely agree with. And I didn't just sit there and take it. I didn't just sit there and say, okay, I'll just start doing it wrong. No, like, I wanted to know why I was specifically doing something. And that's something that I appreciate when I have a lesson, like, come in and they say, so what's the purpose of this drill? But to me, that's like, oh no, they really care. They want to know how to do something better. And that's how I was as a player too. Like, when a coach gives me something and I don't really agree, or I don't know why we're doing this, like, I'm going to challenge them and say, what's this for? Because when I know what something's for, I'm going to be able to do it better and do that one thing with more heart, I guess you could say. Because if I'm doing something and I don't know why I'm doing it, like, I don't know how else to say I'll probably give like half effort if I don't really know what I'm doing. So that's why, like, I'm going to challenge my coaches, but I'm going to do it with respect. I'm going to do it with the respect that they deserve, because they are an authority over me. Like, they are the ones who are putting together the lineup, whether I like it or not. Like, they're the ones setting the lineup, and I have to make sure that I'm doing the things that I should be doing. And one of those things is just making sure that I know why I'm doing stuff. So that's one thing to, like, my interaction with my coaches. It's a mad respect. Like, when you're little and you have a parent, obviously, like mom and dad, like, they have respect over you. They are your authority leaders, okay? You do not want to badmouth them. Like, as much as you want to sometimes, like, they have the authority. They have a reason why they're getting on you about a certain thing. And it took me until I was 26, or maybe I'm 26 now, maybe until I was like 23, 24, to understand that my parents, half the time when I didn't agree with them when I was little, they were normally right. Okay? They were normally right, and at the time, I didn't think so. And your coaches are going to be the same way. So treat your coaches with the respect that they deserve, because one day, if you want to go play at the collegiate level, there are going to be college coaches watching you, and they're going to watch how you interact with your coach now. Okay? So just think about that, take that to heart, and understand that just because your coach says something doesn't mean you have to be like, oh, okay, but I don't agree, and just step away. Like, approach them with the respect that they deserve and say, you know what, how about we try it this way? Or can we try it this way to see if, like, this works better? Like, that's them showing that you care. So don't just always, like, take the heat. Understand what you're doing, and then you can challenge them, but you have to do it with mad respect. Okay, so that leads me to number 5. So far we've gone through be a good teammate, play the game with respect, always hustle, have good interaction with your coaches, and number 5, this is the one where I'm gonna probably go on this for a tiny second, and here's why. This is your skill level. Okay, so like if you want to go play college softball and you want to go play at Purdue University, there's a certain level of talent you must have to go play at that level and play it to the best of your ability, okay? You can't just say, no, I've never challenged myself. I'm literally at like the first grade level, but you're trying to get to the 12th grade level. You can't say, I'm ready to go to Purdue and be at the first grade level. Okay, if that makes sense, I hope it resonates. You can't like expect to go to Purdue tomorrow if you're sitting at the first grade level. Okay, so that's the thing, and this is what I'm going to challenge you on, and this is actually what we touched on with Package Deal. Is if you're chilling at this first grade level, like you have the potential to grow, but you can't just assume you're gonna wake up and be this good the next day. So you have to be able to like make this roadmap, and we talk about roadmaps a lot with me and Ashley B Training. There's actually a video I think I put up on YouTube, or at least it was an old Facebook video, about how to specifically make your roadmap. But here's the deal. If you're on a team right now and you're the absolute best person on your team, leave the team, okay? And this is what I'm saying. So like your travel ball team, if you're the best on your team, you're not going to be challenged enough to grow at a faster pace. So I want you, and I'm not saying you jump to a team where you're the absolute worst and like they're at the 12th and you're at the first grade level. I would say if you're chilling at this level right now and you're the best one on your team and you know you could be challenged a little bit more, go to another team, or maybe your team's moving up to a higher level, compete against better talent and be surrounded by better talent. Like you start becoming, they say you become like the 5 people you hang out with the most. And if you're hanging out with a team that, you know, doesn't have the same goals as you, like let's say this is where I'm gonna go off on here, I'm jumping around, but this is all like stuff that came from experience. I was playing for the Fort Wayne Fire, and that was the team that we went to Colorado. We played in that great tournament and that showcase and got seen by a lot of colleges. But it was going into my junior year, I think, half of us wanted to play college softball. Like half of us were like, it's on our heart, we want to go do it. And the other half were like, we're good. We're good. Like we love what we're doing right now, but we're good. Like we don't want to play college softball. That was the moment, guys. That was the moment when I left that team to go join the Indiana Magic Gold, the best team in Indiana, to go play against the best competition. Because at that point, I knew I was ready to go play in college. And it took me until I was about 14, 15 years old to realize like I had the potential to play in college and I am ready to expose myself to the best talent. So like some people, they know it in 8th grade. Some people, they know it when they're freshmen, but I didn't know it specifically until I was a sophomore in high school that I wanted to go play college softball. So at that point, at that very moment, I joined another team because I knew that I needed to be challenged and I needed to join a team where I wasn't the best one. And I needed to be playing talent, you know, even if that means I have to go travel to California, I needed to hit against the best pitchers if I wanted to play at the Big Ten level. So you guys have to understand that. Like when you grow and if you want to play college softball, say this is like I just said it earlier, like this is the 12th grade level and you're sitting at the 6th and you're the best one at the 6th grade level, like I say grade just because this is just like stair steps. But if you're at the 6th grade level and then boom, like you realize you're the best on the team, jump up. And then when you're the best one on that team, you jump up because you need to be surrounded by better talent than you. And that's where egos kind of get in the way sometimes. They're like, no, I want to be the best one on the team. I want to be getting, 12 strikeouts a game. I want to be, hitting 800 in travel ball. Like, guys, that's not going to get you recruited. That's not going to get you recruited. It's how, yes, Going Yard podcast, always push yourself. Absolutely. You need to be pushed to limits that are, something that's going to be really tough to get to. So if you're hitting like 800 every weekend, I don't think you're playing at the level that you should be playing at. If you want to play at a really high level one day, you need to be challenged every time you pick up a bat, okay? Every time you step on the field, all right? So that's why at that moment, and it took me until I was 14 to realize I wanted to be the best, so I must play against the best. And if I play locally in Indiana, I'm not going to find the best. And it's sad. Like, I want the Midwest to change. This is why I'm like all about the Midwest and how I want to grow it so hard. Even though like it snows half the year, we can do this. Like, if you want it bad enough, you can. There is a roadmap. So like, if there are like specific things where like something maybe like resonates with you and your story that I can relate to, send me a DM or email me at ashley@ashleybtraining.com, or go to my website, ashleybtraining.com. We are going to be hitting on all of these topics that I talk about pretty much every single Monday at my camp on July 15th and 16th. So if you live close to South Bend, you need to be at my camp, because I just came up with like the most amazing playlist that's going to be running this entire camp. I have a bunch of gear that I'm so excited to give out to everybody who comes. I have, players that I'm not allowed to announce that are going to be there coaching at my clinic. And we're going to be surrounded by a community of softball players that want more for themselves. So like, if this list of 5 things that's going to separate you from the pack, from the rest of the pack, resonates with you, we are going to dive into this times 10, times 20 at my camp July 15th and 16th. And you guys can find everything regarding that camp at ashleybtraining.com. I believe on the services tab, it has my 2 camps coming up. And if you have more questions, just send me an email and we'll talk about it. But I cannot wait to fill up this camp. It's going to be absolutely amazing. If there's somebody that lives, I would say within 3 hours of South Bend, you better be making this trip, because this is going to be the best softball clinic ever. I firmly believe, because every time I do one, I make it better than the last. And you can tell that's just my mentality. So my winter camp was awesome. Like, I know some of you on here were at my winter camp this past year, and you were like, holy smokes, that was incredible. Guys, I have things up my sleeve now that I didn't even think about in December. So get on my list, sign up for this. If you have more questions, send me an email. But I am so stoked. And we're going to be outside. It's going to be hot, but dude, that's normal. So the quote that I started off with today, the one that said motivation gets you going, discipline keeps you going. These 5 disciplines, the ones that I went over to set yourself apart, be a good teammate, play the game with mad respect, always hustle, interact with your coaches at a respectful level, and have good skills. Like, no college coach, like, even though you're the best teammate, even though you're all the XYZs, they need to know that you can play at that level. So I have a girl that I know, I'm going back to the skill for a second. There's a girl that I know from Indiana that wants to play at Alabama more than anything in her entire life. She wants to play at Alabama, okay? My dream was to play at a high-level D1, okay? I got that. I got that and more at Purdue. But this girl wants to play at Alabama so bad. She is on a travel team in Alabama. She is from Indiana, is playing for a travel team in Alabama so that she can be seen by Pat Murphy as often as possible. This girl is going above and beyond, and I know, like, not everybody can pay for that. I know that. But she and her parents are doing whatever it takes for her to be in that Alabama jersey one day. And she's only a sophomore in high school, I think. And like, she has this amazing goal and dream for herself to where she is sacrificing so much. She has like a 4.0 GPA. She's doing all the things right. And she wants it so bad that she's going to elevate her game until she can get to that Alabama level. So that's what I mean by number 5 when I talk about your skill level. Like, you need to know that, like, where you are right now is not where you want to be, okay? Where I am right now is not where I want to be in 5 years. But I have to understand that these tiny things, even though, like, I'm talking about, like, softball, these things can be taken in any sort of scene. You work in a job. You have to be a good teammate and a good coworker. You have to treat the people around you with mad respect. You always have to hustle. And okay, I'm not going to say run from your cubicle to the restroom. I'm saying do the things that you are set to do, like your homework or your task for the day. Like, do it with intent, because that means you're going to be more driven for the next day and you're going to be more prepared for the next day. Interaction with your coaches. In a work setting, your coaches are your bosses, okay? Like, you have to treat them with respect because they do probably have more years under their belt. They do have more time within the company. Like, you have to understand that interaction with them is probably the most important interaction of them all. So you have to interact with your coaches with the mad respect they deserve. And also, you have to be pretty darn good at what you do. And not only, I'm gonna add a sixth one. Believe in yourself. And show everyone that you believe in yourself. So if anybody has, a teammate that she's doing all the things above that, but she doesn't believe in herself, she's not gonna get it done, right? So if that's you, or if that's somebody that you know, you have to be that motivation and that light in their life. Like, and the way that you do that, and the way, like, if you know somebody that's struggling with this, be the teammate that crosses off all the XYZs that we just talked about, and show them how you're growing with these under your belt. Okay? You go and do that, and then that person right next to you, you just elevated them because you're elevating yourself. A lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, like, how can I help you? I'll do anything, like, for you. Sometimes being the best version of yourself will elevate the person next to you. So if you have somebody that's struggling with something in their life, like, elevate your own game. Okay? Elevate yourself, and all of a sudden that's going to feed off into the people around you. Okay? And so, like I said earlier, if you're going to come to my camp, like, this is all the stuff that you are going to be so motivated and excited to go play. So I purposely, like, put together this camp date right before most, like, nationals are being played. So, like, national tournaments, they're nationals, but they're all pretty much local. But if you have a tournament coming up within the next following weeks after my July 15th and 16th camp, like, this is the motivation you need to jump into that tournament with mad excitement and all the intentionality that you want to have to go win a championship. Like, come to my camp. Okay, you come to my camp, and I promise you, you're gonna elevate yourself at my camp so much to where you're gonna want to go home and, like, go put in like 250 more reps of hitting, like, afterwards, because you're that excited about elevating yourself. So if you have that elevation, like, mindset, that growth mindset for yourself, and you want to have some motivation going into your national tournaments coming up, come to my camp July 15th and 16th. You can find everything at ashleybetraining.com. Send me a DM if you're interested. I cannot wait for this. I think this is probably one of the most passionate and exciting lives I've ever had, like, ever. Grace Roloff said, you need to want to become 1% better every day. Absolutely. Like, that's you. You want, like, even if you're just making 1% improvement, even if you just made this much of a needle mover, like, every single day, for example, until my camp, I am getting that much closer to this. Camp's gonna be up here. I'm chilling it here. I have a lot of things I need to do before this camp starts, but every single day I'm putting in the work to make sure this is the best camp you ever go to in your life. Okay? So if you guys are interested in that, sign up. I want to make sure I just didn't forget anything. All of you who are playing in Colorado, kick some butt right now. You are playing some of the best tournaments that you can possibly play in. You are going to have coaches watching you, but I hope you put these 5 steps into action this week, and that these coaches are super excited to come and watch you. And because you're doing all the things right, okay? You're not always going to be perfect either. You're not always going to be a good teammate, but you have to be able to catch yourself right away and be like, and then apologize, be like, dude, that was not me. That was not me being my best. Because you're not always going to be perfect, but you put these 5 steps into action and you put them as habits in your life, they're going to happen, like, while you're not even trying. Okay, so at first it might be kind of hard to start putting these into play, but really, really just know that the more you do it, the better you get at it. So get started. Hope you wrote these down on paper. If not, you can always go on Facebook, and you can rewatch the videos on Facebook all the time. I think this might be one that I put up on YouTube as well, if you guys want to, like, go back and watch. But this was awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Good luck to everybody playing. And yeah, come to my camp, dude. It's gonna be so much fun. All right, you guys are the best. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday. The sun is shining, and take care. See you later.